Hello everyone, welcome back to the Sideline Sedo YouTube channel. Today, we are going to be looking at the top 10 transfer rumors from this week that you may have missed out on. Before we get into the video, make sure you like, subscribe, and share if you're a fan of the content and would like to support the channel. I'm going to be working hard all summer to keep you up to date on all the news in the world of sports. Without further ado, number 10, Nemanja Matic. So, Matic turns 34 at the beginning of August. Many Man United fans will rightfully claim that the Serbian defensive midfielder will struggle to have the legs to compete for a full 90 minutes, but in the world of football in the year of 2022, rotation is key. And that's exactly what Matic is going to offer to this Roma side, who's going to be looking to emulate their Conference League glory in the Europa League next season. Don't expect Matic to play week in, week out, but I could expect them to see some cameos every now and then, but no continual starts. I mean, guy's 34 going on 35. Number 9, Adam Lozek. So, after the Euros last year, Leverkusen's eye was caught by Patrick Schick. He had a pretty solid showing for the Czech Republic, and this summer, lightning strikes twice for Leverkusen, as they're hoping that 19-year-old Adam Lozek from Sparta Prague, another Czech forward, will replicate some decent form there. In the past 29 games in the Czech League with Prague, Lozek has 8 goals and 13 assists across 29 appearances, which is pretty impressive for a 19-year-old. And, I think Lozek's going to contribute to Leverkusen's ever-growing arsenal alongside the likes of Florian Wirtz and his compatriot Patrick Schick. I could see him really putting a dent into the Bundesliga, maybe not this season, but next season. Number 8, Joao Paulinha. So, out of the blue, Fabrizio Romano announced that Sporting's Joao Paulinha is set to sign for Fulham for an initial fee of £18 million. Paulinha is a no-nonsense defensive anchor who will bring some much-needed stability to that of a perennial yo-yo club in Fulham. After finishing 6 points from glory in Liga Portugal, Paulinha might feel that a move abroad will do him some good. But, I'm sorry, why is this guy at Fulham? No offense to the club, we all know they have the capacity to spend the money. I mean, a couple seasons ago, they spent in excess of £100 million and still managed to get relegated. There's no guarantee that they're going to stay up just by signing Paulinha. But if the rumors are true, and both Paulinha and potentially Bernd Leno join Fulham, then there is a very good chance that alongside Mitrovic may be reignited from breaking the championship scoring record. I mean, who knows? Number 7, Jed Spencer. I think it's safe to say there are very few people who feel as happy as Jed Spencer does right now. Coming off of promotion with Nottingham Forest, Spence is returning to his parent club of Middlesbrough, but not for long I would assume. Spence had an impressive season which attracted the eyes of many top clubs. The links between Spence and Tottenham have been amplifying the last few weeks, with reports this week showing more concrete interest in the form of an offer from Tottenham. The fee is expected to be in the region of £20 to £25 million, and Conte's side continues to make shrewd acquisitions in the market, with the rival Perisic on a free at the start of the window, and now the signing of Spence for the future. Tottenham is really building a squad out there. Number 6, Gabriel Jesus. The Etihad is a brutal place to be a striker. The expectations are high, and the success rate for traditional strikers is less than favorable. Sure, during the early Mancini era, the likes of Tevez, Jacob Balotelli, and Aguero were tearing it up in the Premier League. Nowadays, City uses a false 9, and that's still brought them some great success. But this summer, we've seen that Haaland's arrived, the addition of Julian Alvarez is very much real, considering the fact that he scored a double hat-trick. That kind of places some of City's forwards in a state of jeopardy. With all this news, the likes of Sterling, Gabriel Jesus have been linked with moves away from the club. Seems that Arsenal or Chelsea will be the victor of this transfer saga, however, and with that, I fully expect for Gabriel Jesus to slot in nicely into either of those teams, quickly asserting himself as one of the first names on the team sheet. In another world, he would have been the striker that Pep used to shift himself back away from the false 9, but in this universe, it seems that Jesus is heading to London. Number 5, Christian Eriksen. Christian Eriksen's story is nothing short of remarkable. The scenes at Euro 2020 and his collapse were absolutely heart-wrenching. Due to his condition and the need for him to have a pacemaker installed, he couldn't play in Serie A, so Christian Eriksen moved to Brentford as a way to get some of his reputation back. Don't take this the wrong way. I still think Christian Eriksen is fully capable and competent of providing valuable minutes against Premier League opposition. He fits the league's tempo, and despite his health concerns, he can still put in a shift. For me, The concern is the vision of Erik ten Hag's United, with Christian Eriksen being added to that current midfield. It sounds a little bit less than exciting. Believe me, I'm a Liverpool fan, and even if Christian Eriksen does join United, I'll root for him to do well for the benefit of his career. Either way, he is quite possibly the last thing Man United's midfield needs. Crave number 10, who's a wizard with space, isn't going to function properly playing in front of Fred and McTominay. That's like expecting a dog to write Shakespeare. Eriksen shouldn't join United. Their failure to get the job done in several transfers this window should be alarming to any and all players thinking of signing, but if he does join, I'm going to root for him because he's a warrior and seems like quite a stand-up guy, even though he might be joining Liverpool's biggest rivals. Number 4, Jude Bellingham. Jude Bellingham is a stud. I've watched him eagerly since his move to Dortmund from Birmingham and have wanted him to join Liverpool ever since. So hearing that Madrid is on the verge of opening up some non-EU slots for Bellingham to join the squad? No. This is a necessary transfer for Liverpool. Liverpool needs an added spark, and Jude Bellingham is just that. He has all the positive attributes to become a star under Klopp. Both clubs are aware of this, and so is Dortmund. So the asking fee is expected to be in the ballpark of £100 million. Regardless, Jude is already publicly committed to another season at the Westfalenstadion, and with both clubs involved in the tension of this move and the implication of it, I fully expect one of these clubs to go in for the kill, so to speak, and get this deal done before the window ends, because by next season, the fee might be even higher and he may have overperformed. So I think that this is the time to strike for both clubs, and I really want Liverpool to move in on him. Number 3, Yuri Thielmanns. The Belgian midfielder turned 25 this past May, and rumors are pointing to the fact that he may be on the move to the Emirates. Joining Mikel Arteta's youth revolution, one would anticipate that the arrival of Yuri Thielmanns would immediately find his way into the Arsenal 11, and more than likely will play alongside one of Partey or Xhaka in a double pivot. I feel like this is the type of deal that we could see the player get signed for 5 years and could be his big money move this summer. Thielmanns is a good fit for his age and can be molded under Arteta to continue to flourish in that deep-lying midfield role and boss the Emirates for years to come. Number 2, Yves Basuma. This video should honestly be sponsored by the North London Derby because this is the 4th transfer of the video to feature one of the two clubs, and for good reason. Both Arsenal and Tottenham are making waves in the summer transfer window as a way to bolster themselves for a top 4 finish in the upcoming season. Yves Basuma is just that. He's set to come in for a fee of around £25 million, despite being on the final year of his contract as an absolute steal for his value. Conte is really out here building a deep squad for Tottenham and doing so quite frugally. But I will add that we aren't quite sure as to the current status of the criminal allegations against Yves Basuma. I know earlier in the year there was some speculation regarding it, but I haven't really heard much since then. So if that does pan out and there is some actual criminal charges being pressed against Basuma, this could actually be quite the flop. But at $25 million in the year 2022, in this transfer market, is a very low-risk transfer for a very competent Premier League midfielder. Number 1, Kalvin Phillips. Manchester City, champions of England. Despite my dismay at the result on the final day, you have to give the citizens their credit. Regardless of their dubious financial might, Pep Guardiola and his side are still some of the most savvy investors in the market. Barring the likes of Jack Grealish, who serve as a stain on a fairly spiffy transfer record as of late, City spends smart. With Ilkay Gundogan and Fernandinho both set to leave the club this summer, covering defensive midfield is key for the citizens. Kalvin Phillips has been linked with moves to both Manchester clubs, and given Leeds' narrow survival in the bitter rivalry between Leeds and Man United, I see a move to the Etihad for Kalvin Phillips becoming increasingly more and more likely. And that's the 10. If you like the video, make sure to give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and share. And also drop a comment on which transfer you think is the best of the top 10 and which one you think might be the biggest flop out of the top 10. If you like the video, once again, share, subscribe, comment, and we'll be back with some more content soon enough. Stay gold.